Join the conversation with the Morning Majlis, Pulse 95.
Hello, good morning. Welcome back onto the Morning Majlis. We're catching up with the discussions on the program, and today we are celebrating a very important occasion. It is the International Day of Disabilities.
Persons with disabilities.
Persons
yes.
with disabilities.
Yep.
So that's what we're going to be. This is the idea. It was celebrated on the 3rd of December, and to talk to us in greater detail about this, we're very kindly joined by Chaica Al Qassimi, who is the coordinator of Self-Advocacy Department with Sharjah City for Humanitarian Services. Good to have you back in the studios. A very, very warm welcome, Chaica.
Thank you so much.
Well, it's such a pleasure to have you in the studios with us again, and we're really excited to talk to you about the discussions. So I'd like to know a little bit more about yourself and what's keeping you busy these days. Now you're with the Sharjah City for Humanitarian Services. What's your role with them?
My name is Chaica. I'm from the UAE. I'm 26. And I am a self-advocate coordinator of Sharjah City of Humanitarian Services.
What is self-advocacy exactly?
So self-advocacy is a group of people with disabilities that comes together to fight for their rights to be inclusive.
And what does this department do? And what are the key functions?
Can you please repeat it one more time?
Okay, so what does the department do? What does the self-advocacy department do for
Okay,
this?
so what advocacy department really do is I create events and I create content that I train disabilities to become advocates and try to make an inclusive world all around the UAE.
This is great. Again, we celebrated, or the world observed, the International Day of Persons with Disabilities on December 3rd. So for people who are listening to you right now, Chaica, how can people actually make initiatives or pledge to support people with disabilities on this important day or throughout the whole year, really? Like, what are the initiatives that people can make or take? Or what are the things that I personally, a normal person listening to you right now on the radio, how can we support people with disabilities?
I think a good support would be helping disabilities to get an education and helping them with families and so on, because to be honest, not everyone is helping disabilities that much. And if we have a community in the UAE that comes together to fight for our rights, it will be very amazing. Even in some countries in our region, in the Middle East and North African region, needs our help. Like, for example, Iraq, Syria, and Palestine, the disabilities there really need your help.
And in terms of the needs, when you talk about the special needs, so what are the needs that you would like to highlight and have been mentioning with your work at the Sharjah City for Humanitarian Services?
The needs is to be valued equally, to be inclusive, actually. Some of them can be about access to technologies, access to information that is easy for us to read.
Okay, and now when you were talking about how do people deal with it, and so how, in terms of the general public at large, how do you want them to now play a role, and what should they be doing to better understand these special needs?
I think the role, what the society can do, one is to talk about even with disabilities. The second one would be some families in this country are not letting their own child or disability outside of their own home. And they don't go to the malls, they don't do what we do. So for that part, maybe let the child go out and see the world. And also fight for their rights, for their education. Even the schools and the curriculum are not inclusive.
So, what has Sharjah City for Humanitarian Services done for the people with disabilities so far as initiatives, as far as nice gestures so far?
Okay, for Sharjah City of Humanitarian Services, they did a really amazing job in bringing disabilities by helping them and training them to go to normal schools, by training them in different subjects and be more immersified in the school curriculum, like the days, the hours of school, the subjects itself. They accommodate autism people itself. It's incredible.
And what is the message that you would like to convey or send to people with disabilities that are listening to you right now on our radio station?
So what I want to convey to disabilities is everything will be okay. They're not alone in this world. I'm here to help them to fight for the rights, to be included in society, and actually just be patient and hold up, actually. And everything will be all okay. And in 2030, that'll be the year of everyone coming together to be more included.
Can I ask a personal question? You're such a strong role model and such a strong person, Chaica, and I've been watching you do an amazing job, and you've been a great advocate for people with disabilities. Where do you get your strength from? Where do you get this drive from?
Actually, it's actually from my past experience. So when I was young, I know my right to go to school. My mom knows about my right to go to have a good education. She actually was the one who helped me to dress me to go to school and stand in the school until they actually include me. My principal told her I should go to an institution or specialized schools. But she kept standing there, and that somehow she changed the mindset of other mothers to come together and make sure I go to school. When I was in school, actually, a lot of people, even though I'm trying to make friends, they reject me. They don't want to be my friend. And I didn't get qualification to go to college. So after that, I feel like I don't want this experience to happen to anybody else in any country, in any person with disabilities, not go through that experience. And I will try my best to make sure it will be inclusive. And that's my motivation for inclusion.
Speaking about your motivation as well, you're an ambassador of Inclusion International in Middle East and North Africa. What are your plans for that, and in terms of over the next few years, what initiatives you would like to see?
Can you please repeat it one more time?
In terms of you're an ambassador for Inclusion International with Middle East and North Africa. So, what are your expectations? What are your plans?
So my plans is to create global events, being a mentor actually for other advocates. Actually, I think one more would be
Raise awareness, of course. Yeah.
being a fighter.
A fighter.
Anyway, a lot of people they need some guide, like a guide, how they can be part of the society. A lot of people are struggling, so they don't know if anyone's there. So I was thinking to write a book that helps them to be motivated and not only being patient, but there's someone there who's helping them.
Okay. Lastly, I've got to ask you about the 3rd of December. Why do we have a day for celebrating the life and also the efforts of the people with disabilities? So why and how does a day like an observing of the day benefits?
Okay. The reason why we celebrate our differences of we coming together to reunite the loving day so we can let people learn about us together. And this year, the theme of people with disabilities is transformative solution for inclusive development, the role of innovation in fueling an accessible and equitable world.
It's beautiful.
Oh, it's amazing to see the work you're doing and the fighting spirit that you've got, and we're very, very proud of that. And
Very inspiring.
Exactly, and we'd love to have you in the studios more regularly and inspiring and sharing your inspiring stories with our listeners. Chaica Al Qassimi, coordinator of self-advocacy department with Sharjah City for Humanitarian Services. Thank you very much for joining us today, and we wish to welcome you back soon.
Thank you so much.
Well, stay tuned to Pulse 95. You can catch this discussion as a podcast later on SoundCloud and Apple Podcasts and Spotify, wherever you like your podcasts, as well as on YouTube. You're listening to the Morning Majlis, only on Pulse 95.
If you liked this episode of the Morning Majlis, drop a like and subscribe.
95.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram for all our daily updates and top stories.
Pulse